Let's look at some examples here. We take pictures every day on your mobile, and you can see that for every picture, there is metadata. It shows you the date on which the picture is taken, the size of the picture, the resolution, where is it stored, what is the title, the default title. It is taken as the date, timestamp, along with some number. Location, if you have enabled the GPS or the location identification on your phone, it would have shown you that. There are some tags, and these tags are automatically captured based on the location you are in, based on different aspects which are coded for that particular phone or for that particular operating system of the phone for it to capture. And then you can see that there are categories which it has automatically identified. It has identified that there is a building, there is a scenery, and then there is a camera which shows what kind of phone that is, and then the aperture, the focal length, flash. Did you use the flash? No flash. What is the white balance? It is automatic? What is the ISO? And what is the exposure time? Different devices have different kinds of metadata. The phone or the device which you're using has these metadata. You'd get these only if you go into the details of the picture. With the latest releases of Android, iOS, or any other mobile software which you're using, if you've noticed, there are lots of picture-specific recommendations, meaning it automatically suggests you that there is a collage available, that there is an animation available, that there is a GIF which it has made by itself. The device or the software is able to do that because of these kind of metadata, which is by default created whenever you take that picture. So in this case, the picture itself is your data, and all the other details which is shown on the right side are your metadata. So what are we storing here? As you can see, along with all these other details, you can put a title and a description, tags and categories, who created it and when. Obviously, it's the device. When, it'll show you the timestamp here with the date or the title. Who last modified it and when. That also comes up if you've, let's say, used some tone or changed it or edited it, add some stickers to it. All those things are also there. Who can access or update? Currently, the path is here. Obviously, if it is your device with your security code, handprint, and thumbprint, obviously it's only you. But you would also know that if you have uploaded it onto your Google Photos or Amazon Photos or whichever cloud-based solution which you have uploaded it into, you can also get who has last accessed it. This is a day in and out situation. There are multiple scenarios where you would take pictures. You might not take selfies every day, but you take pictures of something or the other. You take pictures of some notice board or something from your meeting room. For everything, there is metadata. Let's take another example. In this case, I've taken the example of a blog post from our website, idwbi.com, and that's the difference between Power Center versus the Cloud Informatica, and then there is some text around it. So as you can see, the title, the web address, the title, and the blog post title are the metadata to the actual data which is listed for that blog post. So the title, which is the Power Center versus Cloud, IACS, Author. Obviously, it was me. I couldn't capture it on the screen here. Publish time. What category does it fall into and what tags? So if you notice, the category and tags were also here. Tags and categories. The same thing is available here, or in 99.99% of anything which is web, there is categories and tags. Let's say I want to put IACS as a category. You can create that. And whatever post you're creating as part of Informatica Cloud course or Informatica Cloud related technical aspects, I can group all of them under that category. Tags are like indexes at the database level. It is easy to identify and search certain things as part of tags. Let's take another example here. Outlook, email. At any point of time, if you check the properties of email, then you can see there is something called as internet headers, and there is a whole list of metadata which is created within it. For example, who has received it? From where have you received it? Who are you sending it to? What is the signature? How much time does it take? What are the timestamps that is being sent? So the email which you've received is your data, and all the things which it has identified from the backend or which is used to send and receive text messages or emails or your attachments, the fonts, HTML tags, pictures, everything is part of the metadata. So what does the metadata contain for an email? subject, who is sending it, to whom, what time, what are the server names and IP addresses, in which format that is going on, and what is the anti-spam software details, if there is any. I just took the very basic ones. There could be more, but these are the ones which we understand and we deal with on a day in, day out basis. Let's take another look of a Word document. This is a Word document. Well, it's more of a ebook which I'm writing on non-tech skills which IT professionals need to succeed. This is a Word document. What do you do with a Word document? You just go to your Windows, open a Word document, write it, save it. At the max, probably save as, give another name, save it in a PDF version. But there is a lot to it. Once you right click, properties, at each tab, whatever you see, all that is metadata. So the Word document and the content itself is data, and everything on the properties options with every tab is your metadata. On what time it is created, what is the current size, where is it saved, who has access to it, what security, what are the details, are there any previous versions, things like that. So you can see here the title, the subject, author on who has created it, what company, you can also save that, what is the current status, creation date and time, last modified date and time, number of pages. These could be some examples of your metadata for a Word document. Let's take Excel. This is one of the Excels which I created for lecture progress on Udemy, and whatever is highlighted here and all these entries, row numbers from 3 till 21, you could see that there is a lot of content here. That's data. That is metadata. The header here is your metadata. Tab names, sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, table names, if you have any tables, column names, which is on the header highlighted, and if there are any comments, all of that will be part of your metadata of an Excel. Famous one, database. These are the screenshots from SQL Server. You can see that the employee number, name, job. This is your data, and this is your table metadata. So that acts as your data here, and the header becomes the metadata. And this is where you explain or expand or create your metadata. You tell what is the data type of that particular column. Is it nullable? What is the column ID? And are there any specific comments to it? This is again a popular one for most of the data management guys or most of the data related IT professionals, because sometime or the other you would have logged into a database to query something. So we store tables, columns, the data type, constraints, and table relationships. As we go ahead into this course, once we learn all the basics of what metadata is, what are the different types, we take a case study of how to extract metadata from different systems, and database is obviously one of them. You'll get to know more about the metadata of the database in those lectures. Another example, files on your system. Notice these are the different PNG files. There is a configuration file. Most of them are PNG files. So for example, if you take this picture untitled.png, that's the picture and that's the data. The picture itself is the data. What is the metadata? The date on which it is saved. What is the file format? What is the current size? Notice tags here, and there are multiple other options to add. So the files from your storage system, when I say storage, this particular screenshot is from my system, it's my laptop. But beyond this, let's say if you take at Amazon S3 or Google Cloud Storage or Azure Storage, they have their own metadata. They have their own metadata tags, categories with which you'll identify what your files are. It's not necessarily only PNG files. Any format, you'll have this metadata. The file name, type, size, creation date and time, last modified date and time. So these are some of the common examples of metadata, and notice all the things which we've discussed now are very, very simple, and you would have done that like thousands of times by now. We never bothered to check at the metadata. Probably you would have in some situations, but you don't do it on a daily basis. But if we understand the metadata, it will give you a deeper insights of different things, different assets which you are managing within your system, work, in whatever place. Those are some of the examples.